to Expedition Sea Nest. Join us this week on Georgian Bay in some of the most beautiful parts of the Great Loop. Stay to the end to see some spectacular scenery.
We're leaving the bad river, which was kind of bad because we flipped our tender, our dinghy. Yeah, that was a bad deal. But we're back. Everything's working. I drained we pulled the spark plugs on the outboard and tipped it up, drained the water out of it. Had to do it twice to get all the water out of the carburetor, fuel line, whatever. So we got all that emptied out, and the motor started no problem. And then I took a fellow out fishing here this morning. He's from California, and he's on the what they call the Great Loop, and so he didn't know how to fish. So I took him out. He had the gear, just needed to know how to do it. So we spent some time doing that this morning. I caught a smallmouth. I cleaned it up for him, so him and his wife have a fish to eat tonight. So now we're heading off to Collins Inlet, which is a beautiful narrow passage up the northern end of Georgian Bay. It actually takes you into the North Channel at some point. I think once you get to Collins, we're going to stay overnight in Collins, and then the next morning we're going to go up to Killarney, see if I can buy another fishing rod, because my fishing rods are laying in the bottom of
Bad River.
The Bad River. Bad River took my took my fishing rods, so I'm disappointed in that. But what can you do,
And my sunglasses.
And your good sunglasses, so we have to replace all that.
Oh well.
Fortunately, I think the GoPro works. I think the GoPro is we put it in rice and let it sit, and
your phone.
And the phone, my phone still works. I don't understand how that can all be. And Julia found my wallet floating by. She grabbed my wallet. She thought it was a shoe. It was my wallet. So we were really, really lucky that there wasn't. I mean, we could have got hurt too. I mean, it was. So what had happened is I picked the wrong chute to go up. The next one over, which actually looks worse, is actually the chute that you go up. So we learned next time maybe just watch to see where the boat was up. So we saw two fishing guides come down the chute this morning while we were fishing, and so now I know what to do.
And what not to do.
And what not to do. I know what chute not to try again, that's for sure. Yeah. But we got a beautiful day though. It's not calm, but it's just a light breeze out of the north. Light breeze out of the northwest possibly. So it should be really nice today. And we're gonna get into Collins and it'll be all protected when the wind picks up later today.
And what are we gonna do along the passage?
Oh, I'm gonna try doing some downrigging. I want to see if I can catch a lake trout or a salmon, and maybe smallmouth out in deep water. I don't know. We'll just see what we can get out there. Maybe a walleye. But as soon as I get
an experiment, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's the first time I'm using this downrigger that I purchased. It's just a manual downrigger. The downriggers, the Ranger tugs, you can actually purchase them with downrigger mounts for them. This is a luxury model, and what they mean by luxury model, it has air conditioning, and whereas the Northwest model doesn't have air conditioning, it just has a heater in it. Well, we don't need a heater. In Georgian Bay there is some days where it's nice to have a heater, but it's not like the Pacific where the water is extremely cold. You can swim in this water. The Pacific is very cold, so that's why the Northwest edition is really popular there. The luxury edition is more popular towards the East Coast where it's warmer and people are going to the Florida or going to the Bahamas and they want air conditioning. That's why they purchased that model. So they offer both, but the luxury edition doesn't come with the rod holder mount. So I made something up. I'll show that to you later. When we get out in the deep water here, we'll set up and we'll see if we can catch something.
All right. That'll be fun.
So as of right now, we are
we're only in 29 feet of water, and we're not in the depth I want to be, but we are seeing clouds of bait fish, so I'm fishing anyways. Here on the Great Lakes, if you're fishing for salmon, you're typically going around 2 miles an hour, salmon and lake trout. And it's the same thing if you're on the west coast. You're doing roughly 2 miles an hour to capture those fish. You go too fast, they're not going to chase it, and it's time consuming because you want to do like 7-8 miles an hour if you're going to another spot. So you have to set the time aside to go fishing and just say, it's a beautiful day out here. Let's just do some trolling. And so this is the new outrigger I purchased. Downrigger. And see, it just clamps right onto the bar here, right onto one of the railings, and it works well. And right here I have it's roughly an 8-pound downrigger ball, and here's the release snap on here. And so the rod that I'm using with this is not this one. This one here I'm just trolling behind with this one. This is actually what I would call, this is called the flat line. What I'm going to use is this one over here. This is my downrigger rod, and I'm going to let about 30 feet of line out the back here. Take this off. Okay, so we're going to pull some line off. I keep getting bitten by these stable flies. They're terrible. You don't have that problem if there's more wind. Yeah, the stable flies aren't out here, but as soon as you get these calm conditions, they come and get you. And they don't bite like really hard, and they don't create welts or anything. They're just annoying. You just take these tiny, tiny nips. So we're going to let out about 40 feet of line here. And then I'm going to put it in gear. I'm going to put the clicker on. Take that out of gear again. Alright. And then I'm going to reach down here and grab the line. Put the rod back in the rod holder. And down here. Now you have to figure out where you want to connect this. You want to go halfway into this. See, it's like it's a sandwich of 2 pieces of rubber, and there's a lot of tension on there. So if you're pulling a really heavy bait, you may want to put it way back, or like say a bait that has a lot of drag, but we're only going to go about halfway in. So it's just like 2 fingers together. You just stick it in there, go halfway like that. Okay. We could get something like a small lake trout or anything like that, and if you have it set way back inside there, you could drag that lake trout for hours. So you don't want to have to do that. All right, so I'm going to lower this down now. Now you'll hear this thing. See, you hear the cricking? That's the line coming off the rod now. So we're only going to go down, was it 15 feet or?
It was, but we're reading 30 right now.
Yeah, what depth were we seeing the bait at?
About between 15 and 18.
Okay, so let's set it at 15 feet. Typically the fish want to come up for their bait, for their food. They don't go down for their food. So, if you have a cloud of bait fish and you're fishing for salmon or lake trout, they typically are going to go up to eat, not going down. So if you have a cloud of bait fish at 15 feet, you want to be in that 15-foot range. If you're seeing big predator fish like salmon or lake trout, then you want to be up a little bit higher than that, because you want them to be able to come up. Now what I'm going to do is, so now this is down there connected to my downrigger ball. Now what I'm going to do is I'm putting the reel in gear. I'm reeling in a little bit of slack, because what I want is a bit of a bend in the rod. Right there. And the reason why I want that bend in the rod, is because when the fish hits that, I want there to be some tension, so when it'll snap up, and you'll see that rod snap up like that, and you'll be able to visually see that rod move, and that's what's gonna. Then you're gonna run to the back. You're gonna reel that line up as fast as possible. Try to get the slack out of the line, and get that fish on. This one here is a flat line. This one's running roughly 4 feet below the surface, and it's just a floating Rapala on this one. And it's actually a floating Rapala on this one too. I really like the blue and silvers. They're on a sunny day like this, that chrome really catches the light. So and the water's clear out here. So it's really, you could attract the fish from possibly a long ways away, maybe 20, 30 feet. See if this is a fish. No fish, it just pops.
We know when you're eating like this, you need a bib. What's for lunch? A Julie salad.
A Julie salad, yes. It's a little bit of everything. Is that apple? Salmon? Or tuna? Is that salmon or tuna?
That's salmon.
Salmon. We got black olives.
And the salmon. It's almost like a Caesar salad and a salad niçoise, and then a little bit of sweetness in the corner there.
It's really good. She always does a great job at these salads. Thanks, sweetie.
So while we're underway, I like to make a salad like a meal. So I add a whole bunch of stuff that's in the refrigerator and make like a Buddha bowl. I call it a Buddha bowl salad. So I'll show you what I have here. And for lunch, we have some avocado, apple, zucchini, lettuce, salmon with olives, and a little bit of cheese. Whole bunch of stuff mixed in. Oh, tomatoes. I have to add my tomatoes. All right, there's the finished product. Yum, yum, yum.
What a morning. It's just the pink granite in the morning light is absolutely stunning. The contrast with the green pines and that pink is just absolutely amazing. Look at it. It's just, I could do this all day long.
I know. You come around a corner and you get this jagged cliff, this cut of granite, and you think, oh, it's breathtaking. And then you come around another corner and there's another blob or another cliff that is equally as breathtaking. How could we never have seen this channel? Never.
Well, I think I was here. I think I was here with my parents.
Okay.
I think we came through here, but I was young then, so I don't know.
Well, I've paddled a lot in these areas, and in Killarney, which is close to here, but never down this inlet, and it is just breathtaking. It's just stunning.
Yeah,
quite buggy, but
you have to come here sometime. There's no doubt about it. You guys would love it.
Yes. Put it on the list.
I mean, what an idyllic place to be. You know, we anchor, you go for a swim, you go catch some fish for dinner, and you know, we have every place we've been. It's been completely quiet, not a human sound. Except the Friday night there, we had some people that came in, but other than that, it's just been unbelievable. It's like having the entire place to ourselves.
Yeah, it's been spectacular. And the wildlife, we haven't seen bears or anything, but loons and sandhill cranes and beaver and it's just been spectacular. It's been a real treat. Yeah. Great morning. I know for all of you people who are cruisers and sailboat people, but I've come from the land of paddling and I guess RVing, and the novelty of me being able to make a cup of coffee and a peanut butter and jam sandwich while we're driving is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I get this amazing view out the window where we keep saying, oh, look at that, that's so beautiful, that's so beautiful. And I get to make my morning coffee and have a snack. This is just amazing.
We're actually in Collins Inlet right now, which is our probably going to be our last night stop before we get to Killarney. So we're going to be staying at Killarney Sportsman's Lodge for the night, not marina. We're staying in the boat. We're not staying at the actual lodge. But we're going to see if we can pick up a fishing rod, a spare spark plug for the dinghy motor, and a few other things, some food. And rent a bicycle, see if we can do that, and we can see the area. So that's the plan, get some exercise. And but this is gorgeous going through here. We just love this. I mean, to me, this looks a lot like British Columbia, northern coast of BC. You know, there's no buildings, there's no cottages. It's just all wilderness and sheer cliffs. And the water depth is not like you'd see in BC. If you're in BC right now, you'd in an area like this, you're probably in 40, 80, 100 feet of water, which is crazy. Here in Georgian Bay, you're always watching out for reefs. Very, very treacherous waters. I think if you are comparing Georgian Bay to the west coast of British Columbia, you know, Alaska, and down to Washington, these waters would be considered far more treacherous in regards to reefs, rock reefs, shoals. It's lots of shipwrecks here in Georgian Bay, and it's not the kind of place where you just kind of go willy-nilly and think that you've got lots of water. You really have to pay attention, because all of a sudden you could have some rock come up here, and it's thousands upon thousands of tiny islands that are just under the surface that you can't see. So it's really, you have to be really careful. It's freezing. Like literally, this is the coldest place yet. Like we're out in the middle of Georgian Bay. I mean, we're not.
Here we are.
So this is all cold water. Wow, what a difference. It feels a lot colder here than it does at any of the other places we were anchored. Mm-hmm. Like this is frightening.
Yeah, you got in to be refreshed.
Yeah.
You were in for a bit of a surprise.
Oh my gosh. Just a bit. Oh, it feels like it's like ice water. It's that cold.
Well, now I feel like I should get in. It's a bit too cold.
Try it.
I did believe you. I did believe you that it was freezing cold, but this is going to be my morning polar dip. I'm going to jump in. I'm not going to go in like I normally do. I'm having second thoughts, but I have to just do it. I'm going to jump. Okay. And I'm probably going to scream. Here goes.
Well, you'll scream underwater.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. You know what? When you're in and out really quick, it's like your body doesn't know what. It was like ice water and then hot again. Yeah. It wasn't that bad. It was good. It was
not that bad.
It was refreshing.
Oh my God.
I think it was worse going in. I think it was worse going in slowly.
Yeah.
I just feel tingly. It feels nice.
But do you notice the difference in the temperature out
Totally.
here?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I guess it's just the amount of water.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when the water's in these protected anchorages,
yes,
it's just It's just, it has a chance to warm up.
Yes.
Whereas out here, it's deep, cold, and it's probably circulating from the bottom up, and I don't know, but it's cold as hell.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you suggested going for a swim. And the water here, as you can see from the dinghy rope, the water's really clear.
Oh yeah.
Like it's completely changed that tannin stained water from the Bad River, which I didn't really want to swim in. It has changed, and now it's the Killarney water that I know to be super clear and gorgeous, but cold. So let's keep going. Let's keep driving. Pitfield's General Store has all the basic groceries that you need, but a little pricey. Really pretty inside and well kept. We've anchored up, or we've tied up to the dock, and you can get fuel here as well. We're going to take a walk down to the bakery, which is down the street. Just before the bakery, which I did not film, sorry people, is the world famous Henry's Fish and Chips. We've had their fish and chips in the past and they're very good. We then rode some borrowed bicycles to the local outfitters just outside of town to see if we could replace the gear that sank in the Bad River. Now, Michael without a fishing rod is like a monkey without a banana, or Superman without a phone booth or a cape or something like that. You get the idea. It's just not right. So here we are at Killarney Park Lodge. Killarney Outfitters, actually. Here we are at Killarney Outfitters. We were offered bicycles for transport for free from a very friendly local guy down at the town dock. And we cycled down about 3 kilometers down to the Outfitters, where we were able to purchase some new fishing rods and some sunglasses for me. So everyone's happy, and we're going to cycle back to the boat and hopefully find our slip ready for us. The marina at Killarney Lodge was all booked up when we called, but we found a spot at the Sportsman's Lodge in town, which was a short walk to the larger marina and owned by the same people. We met some friends for drinks on the patio and then walked to Killarney Lodge for a tour and later to the pavilion, where there was some great live music playing. Parts of this facility have been modernized, but you get the feel of an old turn-of-the-century hotel when you're there. It's charming.
Yeah, last time I can use. Cell coverage is really, really sparse here. So I'm just checking emails.
I'm filling up with some fresh water.
Yeah.
Because the hose wasn't.
Yeah, you have to watch which hose you use. So make sure you ask them. There's a hose, the green hose we found out is for like flushing the septic tanks. And we started to put that into our freshwater tank. So we had to dump it out and then start from fresh again. It's he says it's probably okay water, but probably wasn't a good enough answer. So they do have filtered, drinking water. So that's what we're putting in now. And we've also filled these 2 tanks. Well, actually, it was only the one we emptied. It's amazing when you're not living on salt water and you can swim and bathe in the lake. You just don't use that much water. Like, was that 2 weeks without filling, or 3 weeks? 2.5 weeks?
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So we're leaving the Sportsman Inn today. We had a really enjoyable night last night at the Killarney Mountain Lodge. And then what's the path we're taking today? We're heading out that way?
Yeah, we're actually heading in a bit, and we're kind of doing a dog leg around this island, and it's taking us back out, and then we're going to go down through into what they call Bay Fin, And Bayfin is a beautiful, I guess you call it a fjord. It's a fjord, really. And we're going to go down to the far end and find a place to hide away for maybe even up to a week, depending on all the fishing and everything. There's some hiking to do there.
And you got your new fishing rods?
Yep.
So that's exciting. Oh, okay. Going for water, so
Thanks for watching.
I'll do what I do.
Let us know what your favorite part of Georgian Bay is, and if you've maybe done the Great Loop. And leave us a comment. We love hearing from you.